Hello, hello, Swiftie sis. Welcome back to Taylor Swift Tuesday. We're learning how to play Cardigan on guitar exactly how Taylor would play it. And when I felt like I was a cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite. Now, we've never actually seen Taylor perform Cardigan on acoustic guitar, but this tutorial is going to be based on how I imagine that she would play it, as I know the chord shapes and the voicings that she tends to use. And if you would like to have those chords on a folklore era themed printable guide, as well as my full playthrough of Cardigan, you can sign up to Fearless Fam to become a cruel strummer and have access to all of that exclusive content and more. Also, the guitar of choice today is this Gibson J45. It's giving cabin folklorian era. And also Taylor has used Gibson J45s pretty commonly in her career, especially on the Eras tour. So if you're interested in checking it out, I will link it down below. So if you want to play Cardigan exactly like Taylor, you're going to need a capo here on the first fret. For chords, we have 5 shapes that you'll need to know, starting with E minor. Ooh, we're gonna roll up my Cardigan for this because it is getting in the strings and we just can't have that. E minor. Next we have A major, G major, D major, and then we're gonna have a B minor chord, but not like a regular bar chord B minor because Taylor would absolutely not play that. So I'm gonna give you a couple of options. I was really playing around with different B minor-ish chords, like B minor 7s specifically. The first one is a B minor 7 variation. It's also, you can call it a D over B because you're playing a D major. With a B note here on the top, you just roll your finger over the fretboard, you mute the 6th string, but you play the 5th. It's really pretty, and I think it fits, but it's not a perfect fit. Another variation that you could do, I believe it's called a B minor 11, is, you know how you make like an E minor here? We'll just take your 2nd finger and move it down 1 string, and then you strum from the 5th string on down. That, I think, is really close, but it's still not perfect. So we're gonna do a regular B minor 7, so stay here, but just take your ring finger and pop it onto the 1st string on the 2nd fret. So you're all in the 2nd fret, your 2nd fret, 5th, 3rd, and 1st strings, and you're gonna strum down from the 5th. And this is the variation I think fits best. Now I'm gonna give you one more just in case, because I think that this shape could be easy to transition to because you're gonna play G around it. So let's make a G major. Now from G major, you're gonna keep on your 1st finger here. You're also gonna keep on your ring finger, but you're gonna remove the pinky and you're gonna take your 2nd finger and you're gonna move it over to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string and also strum down from the 5th. Ah, so good. I think this shape right here and the previous shape with the 5, 3, 1, I feel like those two fit the song the best. I'm gonna probably do this one here. I think that's the one I'm gonna do. This one's actually pretty easy to transition to as well with some practice, obviously, because when you're at G major here, you do keep your 1st finger on the 2nd fret, 5th string. So that helps out quite a bit. I would say either one of those two works, but if you like the first 2 variations that I gave you, kind of like the D over B shape or the B minor 11, do whatever fits your ear the best. Of course, you can do a B minor bar chord if you prefer to do that, if you're like, you know, not totally like anti bar chords in a Taylor Swift song, but of course, like we're keeping it pure here and trying to play it exactly how Taylor would play it, but like I'm not saying that you have to do it that way. But if you want to do the bar chord, but it's still a challenge for you, I will link my B minor chord tutorial below. And also I do have a full course on bar chords called Bar Chord Breakthrough that I will link right here that you can check out. And it makes learning bar chords so easy. So feel free to check that out. But I think that Taylor would play one of those B minor 7 variations. For strumming, I really only have one pattern for you that I came up with that I think that is pretty close to what Taylor would play. And we're gonna keep it really light because Cardigan is such a soft, cozy song and we don't wanna do too much with the strumming. So we have down, down, up, down, 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 up for each chord. Now, if you need something a little bit easier, I got you. For each chord, you're just gonna go down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So just play that pattern twice for each chord. You can also just start with single down strums for now and work your way up. Our first progression takes place in both the verses and the chorus refrain. So the refrain is its like own section in the chorus near the end, and it's when she sings, "And when I felt like I was an old cardigan." So this progression starts off on E minor, to A major, to G major, back to A major. Vintage tea, brand new phone, high heels on cobblestones. When you are young, they assume nothing. Sequin smile, black lipstick, sensual politics. When you are young, they assume nothing. Our second progression takes place in the choruses and starts off on D major, to A major, to G major, back to A major. And if you notice a pattern here, it's almost exactly like our first progression, but you're just replacing that E minor with a D. 'Cause I knew you dancing in your Levi's, drunk under a street light. I knew you handing on a sweatshirt, baby kiss a better eye. And when I felt like I was in a cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite. Now, just to clear up any kind of confusion, because it feels like this chorus refrain just bleeds into another chorus refrain, and it's just like the flow of the song, but the refrain ends at "you put me on and said I was your favorite," and the second verse starts at "a friend to all is a friend to none." I just love the flow of the song. It feels like such a cozy, comforting bowl of soup on a chilly autumn day. Our third progression takes place during the second half of the song, and it's actually going to replace our refrain progression for just a little bit. It kind of becomes the new refrain. We are going to use the old refrain again, but it's going to start off on G major to the B minor or B minor 7 of your choice, then A major, and back to G major. So we have the second chorus where it goes, "once in 20 lifetimes I," and then our refrain goes, "and when I felt like I was in a cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite." And then we have an interlude. Dun, dun, dun. Na, 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 na. To kiss in cars and downtown bars was all I needed. You drew stars around my scars. Now I'm bleeding. 'Cause I knew you. Now moving on from here, you're gonna have the chorus and it's gonna be the D-A-G-A. So, 'cause I knew you stepping off the last train, marked me like a bloodstained eye. So you're gonna play that progression all the way until it goes, "and you be standing in my front porch sliding on and you come back to me." Old refrain. You come back to me. You come back to me. You come back. Our fourth and final progression takes place during the outro, and it's very similar to our third progression. It's G major to our B minor 7, and then instead of it being A major, it goes to a D major, and then ends on G. You come back, and when I felt like I was put me on and said I was your favorite. And that is how to play Cardigan on guitar, exactly how Taylor would play it. This lesson concludes our teenage love triangle. If you would like to go back and learn both Betty and August, I will have those tutorials linked below, and I will catch you in the next Taylor Swift Tuesday.